The golden question is, can we manage our mental health? Can we manage things like anxiety, depression, ADHD with natural substances, with supplements, instead of having to resort to prescription drugs that can often lead us with nasty side effects and unintended consequences? And luckily the answer is yes, and I've been able to do that myself. So in this video, I'm going to go through all the supplements that I take to be able to manage that. And I'm someone who was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 9 years old. I have battled with depression and anxiety in the past. I've taken prescription drugs. I have had side effects occur to me that lasted very long periods of time. And some of them still stick with me. And how can we avoid that? Absolutely. And I wish I would have known about supplements a lot sooner and which ones to take. In this video, I'm going over supplements that have taken me over 10 years to refine and get down to a science, and that lead me with the most powerful results. So make sure you watch this entire video. I think you're going to find a lot of value from it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott McLeod, and this has been a very popular request. It's been commented a lot in other videos. Hey, can you make a video on the supplements that you take? And I have gone into different supplements in this channel quite a bit, but I have never showed my whole regimen, and it's kind of a disgusting regimen. It is quite large, but don't worry, you don't have to take everything that I have listed here. I kind of will boil down the things that are the most important that you should try first. To manage ADHD, first of all, I'm going to go into that, and sometimes the things that we use for that can often cause anxiety, so we need stimulants. Okay, if you look at ADHD medication, what do we use? Well, we use stimulants. Why is that? Well, people with ADHD have a decrease in dopamine and norepinephrine. So how do we replace that? Okay, number one, the supplement that you want to take is L-TYROSINE. I do a video with this. I'm going to link that in the description below, and it breaks down the science as to why this in particular helps. But this is going to be a natural substance that helps give your brain dopamine and norepinephrine. This is 500 milligrams. I would recommend that you start with one of these. Sometimes just taking two it can make you alert, but it can make you super anxious. Taking three is probably way too much. Start with one capsule, 500 milligrams, and two is probably the most that you want to do, but some people aren't as sensitive and may need more. So that's number one. Number two, good old caffeine. Now, you can drink coffee, but I find that coffee is not very portable. It's not always reliable. You can't get the same dose every time. And so a lot of people are put off by caffeine tablets. But let me put it this way. It is pure, it is refined, and it doesn't have all the sugars. Sugars are gonna really cloud and murky up your mind. So caffeine tablets, it's portable, you can take it anywhere, so you don't have to have a coffee pot or a coffee machine. You don't have to pre-make it in advance, so it's time efficient. And it's the same stuff, guys. It's not some, people think, I'll ask them like, hey, do you want a caffeine tablet? And they'll look at me like I'm offering them a crack pipe. And it's like, it's just caffeine. So I use this because of portability and efficiency. But this brand, I've tried all brands, and even though it's yellow, and I think it does have a food dye, I've used No-Dose, I've used other brands, but this brand just works the best, and it's called Jet Alert. And I would buy the 200 milligram capsules, or tablets, and it just seems to work better. You can buy the 100 milligram tablets, but for some reason they just don't work, and I've read on Reddit forums that people experience the same thing. So you will need to break these in half. So they're these oblong tablets, and you will need to break them in half with your thumbnails as evenly as you possibly can. So there is a little bit of margin of error with that. But caffeine is going to do the same thing. It's going to increase dopamine and norepinephrine. Now, some very good things that you can add on top of that are going to be mushrooms. Not the psychedelic kind, but I also take genius mushrooms. This one has cordyceps, reishi, and lion's mane. The most effective, I would say, is lion's mane, and I do take, this is the most efficient way to get, I do 3 grams of lion's mane a day, and the most efficient way to do that is to get a powder. Powder is going to be way more efficient. The only drawback is that it is a little bit more time consuming. You are going to have to measure that. You're going to have to get a little weighing scale and weigh 3 grams every day. That's what I would recommend. 3 grams seems to really, you can really notice the difference, especially the first few times that you take it. You just feel calm and clear and sharp. Now for anxiety, if you're an anxious person and just want better cognitive performance, choosing an omega-3 fish oil is so important. And depending on your diet, you may have a lot of inflammatory things in your diet, and this is going to counteract that, and it's also just going to, you can think of it as lubricating your mind and allowing it just to fire faster and to be a little bit more clear. You have more clarity, and it's going to create a buffer for your stress levels. This made a huge difference when I first incorporated this when I was working at Walgreens back in the day. As I just graduated out of pharmacy school. Find a good omega-3 that has a high level of EPA and DHA. This is also going to help with the ADHD, but it's also going to help a lot with mood, depression, but also anxiety. So this is all the way around. A quality omega-3 fish oil is going to be amazing. I just started this brand, and I think I like it quite a bit. I used to use Manami Nutrition's Platinum EPA, which apparently has been taken off the market or is hard to get consistently now, but I took that for over 10 years, and that is like phenomenal. It was acquired by Garden of Life. But other good brands are Carlson's and then also Nordic Naturals. So good omega-3 is very important. The next, to kind of help both with cognitive function and with depression, is going to be the Magtine or magnesium threonate, L-threonate. I find that this both gives me calmness and clarity, but it also gives me a nice, good sense of mood. My mood is just very even, things just kind of roll off of my back. And I almost forgot about vitamin D, vitamin D3. So this one is so important, most of us, because we're all stuck indoors nowadays. We rarely go out, we're stuck in front of some type of screen, right? Whether it's a TV or a tablet or a computer screen or a phone. We just don't get out as much and get the sunshine. We are able to create vitamin D from that sunshine. So because of our current modern lifestyle, we kind of get deficient on that, especially if you're living in northern regions where you get less sunlight during the winter months. This is extremely important. If you get seasonal affective disorder, the winter blues, taking this during the winter is going to help a ton. This is something that I suffered from originally from Washington State, and it helped quite a bit to pick up my mood. It also regulates other hormones and helps with your immune system too. So I highly recommend the vitamin D3. That's kind of like an essential. Where should we go from here? So something that you don't really think of is your thyroid function is so important for a number of things. People really have little knowledge about the thyroid and how important it can be. It's going to regulate your energy levels. It regulates your mood. It regulates your bowel movements. If you're low in iodine, you're fatigued, you're constipated, you have brittle hair, skin, and nails. So iodine is going to help optimize, give you better metabolism, better energy, better elimination. And it's also going to give you clarity of mind. If you're deficient in this, you're going to notice right away the difference. So depending on that, it may have a big difference, it may have a little difference, but it's something that I've kept within my arsenal for quite some time. But I'm taking the detoxidine lately. Lugol's is also a good one. I took that for years and years and years. That is a good one. And you just put a few drops in a tiny amount of water, swish it up, and then just take it down the hatch. Now, with iodine, it's very important that you balance that with selenium. So I do take selenium, 200 milligrams, and those two work hand in hand with each other for optimization of the thyroid. Now this one, CoQ10, I noticed a huge difference when I first started taking this. You can think of this as an antioxidant. It's going to help buffer your stress levels, and so it can just give more of both an energy and a cognitive boost. So this is one that's not on the highest of the totem pole, but it's still an important one, and it can have a difference. It can add up. 5-HTP I take at night. It's going to help you go to sleep faster. You're going to have more restful sleep. You're going to wake up feeling more refreshed. But this is the biological precursor to serotonin. So this is going to help you create more serotonin. And as you know, drugs like Prozac, Zoloft, Paxil, these are all working on the serotonin system. So this, instead of recycling your serotonin, which those drugs do, this is actually going to help create more serotonin. If you already taken SSRI, do not take these. If you take any prescription drugs, I do not recommend taking, especially the 5-HTP or the L-TYROSINE. The L-TYROSINE, if it's just an SSRI, if it's just Zoloft, Prozac, Paxil, yeah, you can take L-tyrosine, because those aren't affecting, the L-tyrosine isn't affecting serotonin. So 5-HTP at night for sleep, and then also methyl B12. Some of you may or may not have the gene mutation that doesn't allow you to take dietary folate and turn it into the bioactive version that is methylated. Methylcobalamin. Cobalamin is B12. So methylcobalamin is the active form that your body needs to perform all these functions. So that's why I take the methyl B12, because I do have the MTHFR gene mutation. I have one bad copy. You can have two bad copies. I have one bad copy. So that does I do have methylation issues. So this is a good, both for the B12 and for methylation. This I take at night. You think, oh, a B vitamin is supposed to give you energy. It is very relaxing, and so I would recommend that you start taking it at night. You will wake up it'll be a lot easier to get up. You'll feel more refreshed. You will notice a difference throughout your day, the difference that it makes, especially getting up and feeling more energized. So this is 5,000 milligrams, Jarrow formulas. I really like this the best. I've tried other brands. I like that one. That seems to work the best. So this one is more for the guys. I didn't even think about this, and this was like a total, why didn't I think of this sooner? So guys, testosterone, I mean, this works for women too, but I don't recommend taking the type of supplements I'm about to talk about. But testosterone, it enhances your mood, it gives you energy, it gives you drive. Why didn't I think of this sooner? Why wouldn't I be trying to take something? If I'm trying to enhance my mood, if I'm trying to have clarity, I'm supposed to have more drive, more energy, more focus. Why wouldn't I be trying to optimize for my testosterone? So you may have already come to this conclusion, but it took me a long time to realize I should be optimizing for my testosterone levels as well. So I've tried just about everything in that camp too, and this really made a huge difference, really bumped things up to an even greater level of mood and clarity and focus. All right, one of the first ones that I started taking for testosterone was this, it's horny goat weed, and you may have heard of that. It's like considered an aphrodisiac, helps with your libido, but also kind of gives you energy. I don't think that that is as effective as the yohimbine in this. So yohimbine is this African bark that gives you, it acts as a stimulant. It's also helps increase your libido, but it will give you a noticeable stimulant effect. You will have more energy, and I think that that is what's really effective. This also though has, it's this particular brand, I can't find anything like it, and I actually have to order it now, but it has horny goat weed, it has maca, a 4-to-1 ratio, it has tribulus, which doesn't affect testosterone as much as it's claimed to, and then ginkgo biloba, which is going to help a lot with your brain health and circulation as well. That's one of the ones that they want people with dementia or Alzheimer or worried about that to take to help the circulation within the brain. So this one is, it's PROLAB, horny goat weed. I get this on Swanson Health, and I usually order 2 or 3 at a time, so it saves a little money because I think you do have to pay shipping. One that really worked for me, there's other ones that I tried that just I didn't notice much of an improvement. Sometimes I would actually feel like heart palpitations and start feeling weird, and I'm just like, no thank you. This one works really well. It has some stuff in here that helps brain health as well, like D-aspartic acid. Also has ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen. It's going to help you if your adrenals are overtaxed. It's going to help bring those back into balance. If it's not producing enough, it's going to kind of help production of those things. So that one, it also has stinging nettle root extract, DIM, fenugreek, more of the tribulus. It also has some magnesium, vitamin D, zinc. So this one is extremely good. I've noticed a huge difference with this, and if I stop taking it, I notice a difference. I'm just more mind energy, more energy in general, and just like a clarity of thought. This next one, this one is very powerful. This is actually, you have to cycle off of it. You know, it's good to cycle off of it, but I read it in a random book about spirituality, and I trusted the guy because he also had good practical advice on all kinds of things. But you can't buy this on Amazon. You have to buy it on their website. It's MAHLER'S, MAHLER'S, Aggressive Strength Testosterone Booster. This one makes quite a difference. So I highly recommend this one. Something that works really well, but it's something you have to have patience with. It takes about 30 days for this to get into your system and start having all the benefits or all the effects. It's kind of like if you take an antidepressant, you're supposed to wait 3 weeks to evaluate whether or not it's working for you. So TONGKAT Ali, so I don't know where that name comes from. That is the majority of the supplements. I know it's a lot, and I'm also going to get down to which ones are the most important in just a second, but I do want to say these supplements back here, what I'm going to show you next, these are important too. And I took these as, well, this one's not as important. I took these originally as for weightlifting and for bodybuilding, for getting bigger. I can fluctuate in weight. I can be all the way from 165 to 210. So I've gotten pretty beefy, and the first one, these kind of act as methyl donors. So if you have problems with methylation, I would recommend methylation issues. If you have low energy, I would recommend these. You may have methylation issues. You should get tested on, I think get tested and find out if you have the MTHFR gene mutation, and that will give you a little bit more precision, but you can just try these out too. But creatine is a very common bodybuilding supplement because it actually works. You put 5 grams, which is a scoop of this, inside grape juice. I would recommend that the most. This is the cheapest way to get it, in powder form, just pure by itself, no pre-workout. It has all this other crap. It usually has way too much caffeine. I just don't recommend that. Just get the pure stuff, creatine monohydrate. Put 5 grams of it, a scoop, 5 to 10 grams inside about 6 ounces of grape juice, and that you'll notice sustained energy throughout the day. The creatine does help, just taking it in the morning. I do recommend that you drink plenty of water while on that. You can become dehydrated, so keep that in mind. BETAINE Anhydrous. Make sure it's anhydrous, that it's not HCl. You'll have a vastly different experience. The HCl is if you're trying to create high acid levels. So make sure BETAINE Anhydrous. What is probably even a little bit better that I've noticed is the L-CITRULLINE. I will just notice that at some point in the day when I usually get fatigued, if I take the L-CITRULLINE, I notice that I don't get fatigued. I have sustained energy. It's kind of like if you've created so many decisions throughout the day, at some point you get decision fatigue, and you just kind of get worn out. You're kind of more prone to letting that stress kind of get beneath your surface. So this kind of helps sustain your focus and longevity in terms of your clarity of mind without letting those stress levels starting to start eating away at you and diminish your decision making ability. So if you did notice, I would recommend NutriCost. I find that they are very good supplements and probably the best prices. So I highly recommend, so all these, like the white bottles with the blue, those are all NutriCost. So I think that wraps things up. Now, I did say that I was gonna tell you what I think are the most important. So if you're to wrap it all up, I would say, okay, omega-3, you gotta have omega-3. You need L-tyrosine. You need 5-HTP. Those are like the critical backbones, and vitamin D3. So I hope that that's helpful. I wish that I saw a video like this earlier. And like I said, out of all these supplements, I've tried about 5 times as many. So if I try something and I don't notice it, then I just get rid of it. I would recommend you do the same. Get used to tuning into your body. Get listening to yourself. The more that you tune into yourself and ask yourself, do I feel an effect here? So I will take something for a few days. I'll notice right off the bat the first day if it makes a difference, if I notice it. I'll continue to take it, and then if I'm not feeling anything, I'll take it out. Just that, not anything else. And then I'll notice if I feel, less sharp, if I feel less energy. And then if I feel energy or a difference right away, I'll keep it. If I take it away and I notice a deficit, then I put it back in. That's more or less what I would recommend. So I would recommend that you introduce one supplement at a time so you can tell the difference that it's making. And so if it's not making a difference for you, everybody has a different unique body chemistry, a different physiology. So keep that in mind. What works for me is not going to work for you. All right, guys, my camera is bugging out on me. So that concludes everything. I hope this was helpful. If you found some value in this, which I hope you did, this is a lot of supplements, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you have any questions about any of these, if you want me to go into more detail about a specific supplement, please let me know. Also, let me know your experience if you've had good success with one of these supplements, so we can all, as a community, kind of figure out what's worked and what hasn't worked. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.